Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Barbarian, and today we have Prince Alva in front of us, and can I just point out, that man is buff. Even at his old age, he is still buff as hell. Either way, what I'm trying to say actually is that he is of course a bit concerned. After his exploits in northern Iberia, I think he is a bit, unclear about where the Empire is headed, what is going on. Of course, much as before, he does value Nuno. He believes Nuno to be a good and a just emperor that, after all, has shielded him, Alva, from the church, and very unjust, of course, institution right there. And yet, right under the nose of Emperor Nuno, and may I add, actually, not just right under his nose, but indeed quite inside of Aquitaine itself, we are looking at the death of our brother. And that is something that, if the Emperor can't explain it, then who can, right? I'm of course talking of Prince Martin here being murdered in the year 1083. It has been 2 years, we have been campaigning since then, so that explains why we didn't look into this at all, but now we're curious. We return back home, we have taken control of the northern path of Santiago, of at least the main area right here, and now we take a good look at Prince Martin, and we have to see who benefited from this. Who could we investigate for this? Because I do think that this may very well be the theme of this episode. Prince Alva wants to know what actually happened. Now what we're going to do is, the first location is of course the court of our, brother. Our brother's court used to be Provence. He no longer has a court there, or nobody has a court there, because Auvergne has inherited both of these locations. I will send him to attempt to find secrets in Auvergne, in the hope that basically when the courts were moved in together, the killer moved there as well. Other than that, I can only imagine maybe one of his vassals, Count Jorge, Count Girard. I don't think we suspect Duke Martin personally. Yes, of course, he benefited from this situation, but I don't think that he caused it. I think Duke Martin is a victim here, much like our brother was. We will investigate this, we will find out, and there's something else to be pointed out here, that the people that we have now taken over, the people that we have conquered in this area, they do not take kindly to, us being their new rulers. Look at that, minus 45 in terms of popular opinion, because they are in the compromise phase, and that gives an underdog character, which we are a popular opinion of minus 25. Quite massive, and quite something that we may want to be wary about. We may have to fight the locals, which, it definitely would question our holy mission. But we'll see about that. Currently, we're not going to petition our liege. I want to wait this out. I want to see where we go with all of this, whether we find the murderer or not. We are, of course, justifying a claim here on, what even is this? Obidoco, Asturias, and hope, of course, that we can, get something done there as well. There's a lot to be done still in this old life. We're no longer stressed, but we have many, many questions. Let's see where this episode may guide us. Oh no, we gained another stress level. Elizabeth has died at the wonderful age of 69. She drank herself to death. You know what? To that I can drink. Oh, I actually cannot drink to that. You know what? To that I can buy some spices. I think we're going to go to the local spice merchant in hope of, basically just maybe our thoughts leaving this dark place that we're in now that everybody around us is passing away. Let's just find a nice spice blend, hopefully. Welcome. I've been expecting you, Prince Alva. The spice trader smiles. Which of my spices are you interested in buying today? Or are you interested in my famous 5-spice blend? I'll tell you what, why don't I let you sample some of the 5-spice blend with some porridge so you can see just how amazing it is. I'm skeptical, but try it nonetheless. He's right. It tastes amazing. Interested in buying it now? Yes, please. I can only say yes. I actually liked it. Why can I only say yes? Is it because I'm a drunkard? Maybe. I'm not sure how that would be related, but apparently we love to buy it. And you know what? Look at that. This character has acquired a large amount of the so-called 5-spice blend, which is said to make any food, even the simplest of gruel, taste delicious beyond compare. We get some diplomacy per level of fame. That's actually really good of a modifier. And then a health boost. Oh my god. We may yet live for quite some time to come, which I didn't anticipate. I actually thought we would die fairly soon. And this would at the very least mean that we can investigate what is happening in Auvergne. You can see that we've progressed quite nicely. Oh, the spice peddler leaves town. The famous spice trader who has been staying near my residence has decided to leave for elsewhere to sell his spices. Where is he headed off to? No one knows for sure. Right, we can no longer take this decision. Man, I can actually still take this decision as long as I have this window open, right? And I simply don't have the money. That's a shame. I would have liked to send some spices to some friends, but we'll have to do that whenever the spice peddler shows up again. Duke Martin. Spies digging for secrets have been plaguing my court, and imagine my surprise to find that they are in the employ of your spy master. Please put an end to this travesty immediately. I know nothing of any spies, or they must have gotten lost on the way home. I don't know. I don't think I want to stop it. I don't have anything against Duke Martin. In fact, I respect him. He's a good warrior and such, but I have to tell you right now, I'm investigating the death of your grandfather and my brother. There is no way that I will leave simply because you also have something to hide, and I have to assume that he has something to hide. I can only pray that it is not related to his grandfather's death. I know nothing of any spies, Martin. Those aren't mine. Obviously, you know, we are quite deceitful indeed. Trusty Stallion. A renowned trainer has approached me after hearing rumors of my mighty stallion Tensender and offers her services. All I ask in return is a small compensation. Right. Oh, I love that horse, and it makes me definitely feel regal. This is something that a good warlord needs, right? So, I'm thinking, I think if there's one thing he is lacking, it is fierceness. Make him more fierce. What is this? Ransom? Ah, he wants his wife back. Okay, you can pay for her. It's a queen's ransom. I think that is a fair price to pay indeed. You are family, but family doesn't, you know, bring you any further than that. The children here, I assume they're only under house arrest. Oh no, I will move them to house arrest then. Obviously, they will not be in prison, but they can't just go free for nothing either. You're good knights. No, not really. You know what? You can stay. You were the heir of my now rival, Jimeno Christinier Vasconia Isurum. Ah, he's a nice pressure point, you know that? We could utilize him as pressure when it comes to our enemy here. I could recruit him. He doesn't necessarily hate me. He seems to be quite the good-willed man. He is compassionate after all. What I'm thinking is, if the King of Navarra were to ever stand in our way, Jimeno Christinier could be pushed. His claim could be used in our way, effectively. You know what? I'm going to recruit you. Your father is my nemesis, but I mean, what can you do, right? Currently, he's not against us yet. What is this? Marthe de Poitiers Valentinois. I don't have any relationship to you. You know what? Why don't you just leave? Get out of here. I don't know you. I don't think I need to know you. Goodbye. Tensendo took to his training well, and results could be seen instantly. A fierce warhorse. Yeah, that is about right. Man, I need to go to war. Oh, and all of a sudden, I guess he really does hate me, huh? Tyrant. Ah, because he ate the tyrant modifier. I would, if I had to guess, I think that is basically it. Man, yeah, that is very negative all of a sudden, but we can use him. Let's hope that he doesn't plot against us, but we could still very much use him here against Navarra. Should the king ever oppose us once more, we could act against him. Right. Prisoner has been moved to house arrest indeed. Shared prayer. Let's take a look at this. Exiting the church at Bazadeh, me and my friend Count Egidio end up in the company of some local merchants. They are in the middle of a discussion regarding theology and worldly wealth. I would invest in the church, but how can I know if that is even St. Matthew's still? Will. Right, St. Matthew's will. Well, we'll convince him that St. Matthew has given signs, or I know somewhere your gold would come to better use. You know what? Yeah, I know somewhere your gold would come to better use. He's our vassal, and I'm surprised that he likes us that much. Right, we are friends. Egidio, I recall. Egidio, yes, a good companion. Man, he even sticks through with us despite our huge tyranny number right there. Okay, I'll take that money. Yeah. I think I can utilize that better than the church that excommunicated me. I mean, come on. Right, we are not going to ransom her. You know what? I do want to hire a court physician just because we are interested in the body. That is all the justification that I need, I think. We're going to do this. And after that, we might just go on a hunt. Despite our best efforts, my agents have yet to uncover any secrets. You know what? Why don't you come home and we take a look at some other potential enemies? Can I see the rivals of dead people? I'm doubtful that I can. Right, okay, let me check whether there was a rival while Martin was still alive. I will take a break in recording here for a second. So we are now back on an old save. You can see it here in 1081. Prince Martin is still alive, and his rivals are Jaspert, a Frenchman, not really an important person, and Countess Berenguela of Touraine. I need to see whether she still lives. If she does, she is our first and foremost suspect. And would you look at that, Countess Berenguela is still around. She is an adulterer. An interesting person, and I think an interesting person that we ought to investigate. Let's find out what she knows, if she knows anything, and what it has to do with our brother. The world is full of dangers, even to a duke and his court. As per my request, my servants have inquired after recommendations. Now they have assembled a few options to choose from. Right, I need somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna hire him no matter the cost. Oh, they're both so damn cheap. That is crazy. I'm gonna hire him because his learning value is higher. That neither of them is great. But Donato, I will hire you. I need you to advise me on the things of the body, because it is one of the most important topics that are currently on my mind. Yeah, let's see whether we can find anything. I could imprison Countess Ava, because she's a witch. What I'm gonna do is, obviously, he granted me repentance. Countess Ava, I hereby grant you a pardon as well. And that, yet again, should actually, you can see that Egidi already is fairly tied to us. Fortuny hates us because of all the tyranny. So does Countess Constance. But Countess Ava, because we forgave her, she actually is now in a pretty good spot as far as our relationship with her is concerned. And you know what, quite frankly, I was talking about going on a hunt, but you know what? I'm going to visit Italy. I will spar with her. I will see what, you know, her abilities. Oh my god, that is a bug. She has a mega spear. I will die here. No, this is a visual bug, okay? That's just what happens if you have a zombie save. Don't worry about it too much. For a few brief moments, Countess Ava and I pace in lazy half-circles, each watching for an opening. I couch my Prince Vea's Spear of Valor, ready to defend myself, while she clutches her spear firmly in her hand. This fight may only be till first blood, but that doesn't ease my nerves. Now, I am so missing the abilities that we had previously when we were Philippe the Great, you know, the Blade Master abilities, they were so good. We have to rely on good old classic methods. Strike, parry, riposte. My form is good and only small errors, and Ava's stance is formidable. I could insult her here. Maggot, you think you can stand against me? I'll show you how I couch a spear. I do like that. I want to put more focus on our spear. Did her spear just get larger? No, actually, I don't think so. My form is still good. Her form is formidable. What about just another strike, parry, riposte? My form is now excellent, and her stance is incredible. How the hell is she so much better than us? Shouldn't she, you know, foolish spawn of hell, can't you do better? I would be taunting her. I mean, honestly, a bit deceit is definitely in his person. Better women than you have died trying to break my guard. No, I will definitely attempt to insult her, to taunt her now. Rather than insult, I would say, you have no ability to fight a man like myself, and indeed, that seems to be it. With casual regard, I throw insult, mockery, and scorn at my opponent. Little wonder, then, that she eventually becomes so enraged that she disregards the trappings of sensible combat and throws her spear to the ground, intent on killing me with her bare hands. It only takes a little waggle of my spear to remind Ava where she is, and I rapidly receive a yield, choked out betwixt clenched teeth. I like that. Now let's hope that, you know, we keep the insults on the battlefield. Well fought, my duke. You bested me fair and square, Ava says. This practice will surely serve us well should there be war in the future and of Bascognaco. This was invigorating. Let's see, what did we pick up? Noble Defender, that is really good. And Leader of Knights, oh, that is really nice. Knight effectiveness going up significantly there. Seriously, I love dueling our knights. It is wonderful. And speaking of which, obviously, we're still investigating Berenguela here. But I'm thinking, let's say we get this claim. Ooh. Oh. We could get involved here, and we would be actively sabotaging the Belzetic family. And we could be basically harming the entire security of the Way of Santiago, but wouldn't that be in character? So he is currently under attack. Let's take a look at this. He's under attack. Ah, it's merely for this, so it's not actually a big threat. I think we might want to move in against him here. Once we get that claim. I can see that being in our character. You know, that's the perspective that we take here. Now, what is this? Saragu's claim on the county of Tutera. So she is attacking him, but chances are indeed that Navarra and Galicia will stand together here and this battle will be lost. Interesting approach nonetheless. She's very eager to fight then. Look at that. He did indeed now get the claim. I'll take this claim. I will take every single province in this region that we possibly can. It is just that important to us. It is such a momentous situation, you know, where we can actually become the protector. Of course, the Emperor is nominally the protector of the Way of Santiago, but we can genuinely become the protector of the entire area there, and I do think that we desire as much. You know what? Why don't we just host a hunt, and afterwards we actually start the war for that location there. I could, of course, claim another county. Let me check. Yeah, the duchy isn't created, meaning I can't get a valid claim on it, and without a claim, I couldn't push two counties either. We currently do not possess that cultural innovations. So you know what? I'm going to call a hunt, and then we will go ahead and declare war for yet another county. We will go so far over our domain limit, and we're doing it for the purpose alone of the obsession of becoming the, you know, at least one of the heirs of the legacy of our father. Very much seems in character to me. Yeah, let's go on a hunt. Let's relax a bit. Let's see how it goes. Felling a beast. You would think it's a creature from myth, perhaps a god disguised in animal form. It was the largest hart I have ever seen. Even after the beast was wounded, the chase lasted half a day. It is still an imposing sight, lying dead before me. Countess Ava is just as awestruck. I have never seen such a thing, my lord. Its head will look beautiful in my great hall. We get a hunting trophy here. I see, okay. And because we're humble, this isn't something we want to do. I think Countess Ava deserves the credit for this. You know what? I think he might feel slightly bad. Yes, he's humble, and yes, he insulted her in the moment of fighting as a strategy. But of course, Countess Ava, I mean, it has to feel bad, right? It has to be a situation where she got insulted by a liege lord and she couldn't do much. I will give her credit for this. And we may actually even use this hook. You know what, is there anything... I could revoke the title, technically, no. Yeah, we can definitely do with more taxes. Surely it doesn't really do much, right? But we can get this done. Alternatively, more levies, I guess. And man, that is actually a sizable increase here. You know what? Yeah, no, I'm going to demand more taxes, I think. Currently, still nothing, but I'll go ahead. I'll change her contract. And with that, we have a fairly complex relationship with her. We're not friends. We try to do a favor for her, but obviously that turned around and we actually got a benefit from it. It does fit with our deceitful nature, but yet it certainly won't make us any new friends. The hunt is drawing to an end. We mount our horses to leave the hills behind as the servants prepare the heart and other game for the journey back. In spite of our difficulties along the way, the hunt went very well. We had a nice time, and you love to see that. By the way, somebody pointed that out in the comments. Manrique Belasquite, huh? He is the son of Pope Gregorius VI. And Belasquite, of course, I mean, the lover of our arch nemesis. I think I would like to educate this child. It is the ultimate payback to Pope Gregorius. Yeah, somebody pointed that out in the comments. I didn't even notice it. And Manrique, you must be taught your place in the world. You must be taught that your father was a monster. You can be better, but you have to work for it, my child. You have to work for it in my court. Yeah, there you go. Now, before we go to war here, I think I would like to petition our liege, at least, you know, for something. Ooh, I like this. He actually commissioned her for an adventure inspiration. Very, very cool. Does he have anything new here? I don't think there's really much new. He did hang the Imperial Tapestry, but also Berchtesgade's Tapestry. He basically took down the Dynasty banner. Oh, you gotta be kidding. It's a pure, you know, it's a pure AI calculation. It's not like he went, oh, I hate our Dynasty, but come on. The Vasconia Dynasty banner, it's so much better than this. Ah, you absolute buffoon. Well, anyway, I will ask him. I definitely will ask him for a favor. We did get kicked off the council. We're still the master of the horse, so I'm not against him right now. We could do a royal visit to Iberia. He could oversee the Way of St. James. I don't see why not, right? The Way of St. Jacques. Alternatively, some bailiffs would be better. And let's be real here. We don't really care whether the population loves us. We want to be in total control. And he can aid us by sending some bailiffs. You know what? I will ask him for this. I am busy. I don't need to be on your council, but I need your aid. And how come you're wounded, by the way? I'm escorted in. I carefully describe the problems my fiefdom faces, resistant to my authority and beset by vagabonds, and request assistance in restoring order. After listening to the speech, he sits in silence for several moments as he mulls my petition over. Eventually he addresses me. You make some good arguments, but if I'm to agree to your request, I will need something in return. Surely, you see, it would benefit both of us if we came to an arrangement. What does he want here? He wants so... No, wait a minute. He's paying this money. Oh my god, he just gets a weak hook. I was about to say, that would have been insane. Man, the benefit here is quite nice. It's a fair tit for tat. He's the emperor, he doesn't have infinite... Oh. He absolutely does have infinite money. You know what? I will try to explain myself. Alva wants to be recognized in the sense that he looks at his brother and he says, come on, what are you doing? I'm your brother. What are our chances? 58% and 40%. I like it. I will definitely not appeal to Countess Berenguela. The fact that she is the spy master is actually worrisome to me now that I look at it. Yeah, Berenguela in his ear. That is bothersome. Duke Robot. He did take our position initially. I'm worried that... Man, I'm not sure. But it does sound to me, the more I think about it, whether Alva thinks basically everybody in this court could be the murderer of his brother. Emperor Nuno thinks for a moment, then cries, Robot, I require your counsel on this matter. The nobly born marshal steps forward, eagerly clutching his sword. Yes, a most delicate affair, my lord. Countess Berenguela, the Emperor's spymaster, watches quietly from the sidelines. If I were to outmaneuver her publicly... Oh, the way it's worded, I really do want to outmaneuver her publicly, but... I think martial is what we know. Martial is how we act. I want to embarrass Berenguela. I really do. And this gives us a worse chance of actually getting this done. But I'm going to go with Countess Berenguela. Because she is the lady that Alva right now sees as the potential murderer of his own brother. A rival. Before his death and afterwards, all of a sudden a spy master? I mean, come on. Coincidence? I don't think so. Can we embarrass her? I beg you. Did it happen? I don't know. I don't think it did. Oh man, I am very unhappy. It didn't even tell us whether didn't tell us whether it actually worked. Oh, he actually lost the money though. Wait a minute. So it did work. Oh, it totally did. We did embarrass her. Man, I don't like the bug where it kicks you out, but I love this. We actually took the 40% chance in roleplay terms and we succeeded. I love it. Countess Adele of Metz has accused my brother and friend Emperor Nuno of having had an extramarital affair with his lover Duchess Sophie. How could he defile the sanctity of his marriage? Right, so Countess Adele has leaked this. She is the Countess of Metz. Now, I don't think we think any less of Emperor Nuno. We, to ourselves, I would argue, probably think everybody makes mistakes, and he has accepted ours. Why wouldn't we accept his? Now, Duchess Sophie of Verone, she is one of the heirs of Mattei. He should be in here somewhere. There he is, Mattei the Monster. She's one of the heirs of Mattei, and a very influential landowner in Verone here, currently facing a rebellion in... Oh, you can even do that internally? You know what? I did not know that. He is attacking her for the Iberian Reclamation, which is a war you get in a CB in the Compromise phase, where you can declare a war against a non-Iberian and kick them out. And they are doing this despite them being in the same realm. I didn't know they could do that. That is pretty cool, pretty interesting. She's losing that war. She's not winning this one right now, but I think Horvatsko may... Oh. So she's not only now revealed as the lover of the Emperor, but she's also in a very bad spot, where she might as well... no longer be this influential Duchess. I think this is significantly worse for her than it is for the Emperor. I would be surprised if this changed the standing of the Empire. Ooh, and Vea died yet again. Vea de Kea. It's not the same Vea, but he definitely has the better rhyme. Now, anyway, we did petition our Lord. He gave us what we asked for. Look at this control level. All of a sudden, so much better. God, you love to see it, don't you? We are going to head in and defeat King Martin II Vea. I will take... Obidoco Asturias, because that is our land. I will protect every single inch of the holy path to Santiago. It is my role in this world, and I will indeed not fail. Oh, okay, wait a minute. While performing his duties as my spy master, Count Egidio has uncovered a secret held by Countess Berenguela of Touraine. The truth is finally revealed to me. She was the woman who plotted to kill my brother Prince Martin. I cannot believe... I was worrying whether I did too much legwork, basically, by going back and looking at his rivals, but it paid out. Countess Berenguela actually did it. Not only cruel and heartless, but dishonorable as well. Huh. Countess Berenguela. Countess Berenguela. I could blackmail her, but what do I do with that blackmail? I need her to be dead. I need her gone, imprisoned by the Emperor, potentially even executed. If I reveal this secret, I think I will reveal it. Yeah, I will reveal it. He should imprison her, and then I demand that he execute her. I can't influence it, but I will demand it. And if he doesn't bring justice to her, then I will. Let's expose that secret. He doesn't even imprison her. Are you kidding me? A curse undone, right. The old lord of the Biscaya here is indeed dead now. That's quite good for our stress level, but you know what's not good for my stress level? This lady living, and man, she holds 3 counties. I couldn't even take her down in one single war. Countess Berenguela. No matter how we look at this, our Prince Alva, without a doubt, will now instill this hatred, this righteous hatred, into his children. For the Lady of Touraine. Yeah, Berenguela will suffer for this. I promise you that much at least. Oh, and he is little Manrique. You're always there for me, and I hope that you know that I am grateful. My ward Manrique approached me in a rare display of honesty. I will take that favor hook. Man, could we learn forgiveness here, though? Could we potentially learn forgiveness for Manrique? We are deceitful. How do you feel about this child? We're neutral. When I need it, I expect you to be there for me too. I don't think we quite learn forgiveness. It's potentially a step, but I don't think it's any more. And now this is honorable. He wants to be her best friend. I'm disgusted, by the way, that he didn't actually act against her here. Come on. But he wants to be our best friend, and it's been a while since Martin died, a few years have passed, and Emperor Nuno stood by my side no matter what. I will accept. Alva, my brother, my companion, my confidant. Will you join me in declaring our friendship to be the truest and brightest in all the world, with all the debts of loyalty that entails? Yeah, I think so. Child of my dynasty, my daughter-in-law Trude has given birth to a daughter. Ah, Blanca. And she may as well be Hale as well. We'll see about this. We have become best friends. I like it. And she... Oh, Duchess Adele! Our sister-in-law... I'm not... Well, the mother-in-law of our son here, of Asna. She has actually learned Basque. I'm very impressed. Yeah, I will definitely... And she becomes a friend. Oh my god. Honestly, the fact that Prince Alva turned out to be this character that somehow learned how to deal with all of his insecurities. He lived a life not being trusted by anybody. And somehow, and he is a tyrant, don't get it wrong, he is excommunicated, but somehow he made his own family. It is a bit of a family tradition, I guess, at this point. Prince Vea did the same. Prince Vea stood up in the morning and decided he needed to build his own, because everybody else would reject him. I am really thankful for this storyline, and I don't actually want to see this, I need to see this, that this game has developed for this particular character, because he seemed like a complete failure. Not a day passes by without Bishop Anso making a mockery of me during his sermons. That obsessed knave is certain that I'm an agent of Satan, and will not rest until he has turned the peasantry against me. You know, I should make him a knight and then fight him. I will shut him up for good. Yeah, so what does this mean? I gain dread, I spend faith, and I get another tyranny penalty. I have to tell you, I think I absolutely would act this way. We do not like Bishop Anso. He clearly hates us. I just wish there was an actual consequence. You know, for example, we imprison him or, well, anything like this. But yeah, anyway, we now know that she committed the murder. I truly, truly hate that he isn't acting against her. What a joke. Honestly, this scheme is a terrible value. It doesn't seem likely. But how could Prince Alva stop himself? He didn't learn forgiveness earlier when he took care of Manrique, and Manrique is a child. With this woman, how could he know forgiveness? She's a murderer. We need to act against her. Now, what do we have here? Coveted literature. My lord, my Bishop Anso approaches me with urgency. A local merchant has a copy of the influential Regula Pastoralis, but refuses to sell it to me. If you make him see the error of this way, I would be in your debt. You know what? I don't think so, buddy. This book sounds interesting for me. This sounds like a you problem. Anso, why don't you go back to Rome? Why don't you go back to wherever the hell you want to be, because you clearly don't want to be here. Now, we could get some disease resistance here. I do like Know Thyself, especially for this character, but I have to tell you, Restrained, it just plays no role in his thinking whatsoever. And he's definitely not carefree, at least not right now. I will invest in Iron Constitution, that definitely makes a lot of sense. We have won this siege, and we shall continue sieging. He has a healthy amount of troops, but at the very least we have now claimed the county that will rightfully be ours after this war. Your brother attacks. Oh, what is he doing? For the de jure war of the county of Barry. Excuse me. Wait, so the county of Barry is held by Grand Moravi? Oh, King Rabro is the French son of Thibaut of Berry, which is so funny to me now. Because when you look back here, yeah, look at that, Carloman IV. We make it all the way back to the very, very classic Carlings that ruled in the north. And if we go far enough, I'm pretty sure there he is, Carloman II, that ruled in... No, actually, that's not it. No, that is him. Yeah. He's the son of Charles the Bold. That is the reason why all the way back in the day, we rebelled against the Carlings in the first place. And now we have this move of the Carlings, well, of the Carling descendant, I should say, to Grand Moravie. But I think that Emperor Nuno will indeed take control of this. I just wish he was as decisive as far as Countess Berenguela is concerned. We couldn't even hire anybody against her. Man, I hate this woman. How can she still be so beloved? She's a drunkard, irritable, an adulteress. She's a murderer. If I was still in that church, I would ask the Pope to excommunicate her, but I don't think that is possible. That stallion is sick. Would we pay for the warhorse? Well, we are with it in the camp here, in the camp area here, and surely we know how it stands for our finances. You know what? I will pay for that horse. I will definitely pay for that horse if need be. Now he goes for an aggressive war for Ostfranken against Bavaria. I don't dislike him. I don't care really for either of these. Obviously, you know, his sister actually is married to our son. I think I'm just busy. Being, you know, honestly, these alliances, they don't mean anything to us. Yes, we have them via the marriage, but I think I would rather take the prestige hit or the fame hit because we are an honest man in the sense that, you know, when it comes to warfare, we lay the cards out on the table. We cannot aid you and we will not aid you. Oh, Blanche Regina Mont, the wife of Asna, is now proposing that we maybe should begin a bit more than just a father-in-law relationship. I quickly recognize the tune. It is a famous Gasconiera love ballad. I've heard it performed countless times, but never with such skill and passion. The intense emotions of the song are mirrored in Blanche's gaze, which is set on me. She does not look away for a single heartbeat. I don't think so. Listen, I'm deceitful, but I'm not gonna cuck my own son, okay? Asna doesn't deserve that. He didn't do anything wrong. I trust that kid much like my father should have trusted me. Drifting apart. Egidio. Prince Alva, my friend Count Egidio, smiles sadly. I feel like there's no friendship left between us. I will definitely try to work it out. We have valued him. We still value him. Remember all the good times, please. Let's try to make this work. Yeah, you can see here not everything is as easy as, you know, it may seem at some point. Ooh, right. The Muslims are going up there. Ooh, and he actually created his own house. I may want to change this. I'm going to leave it for the time being. Branch de Villa Viciosa. Interesting. So Galicia is fairly independent now. No longer Boss Garancia. Instead, they follow their own path and follow their own family. I mean, understandably so. We could create our own cadet branch as well, but we are just much, much closer to the Emperor. Dangerous faction here. Liberty faction, huh? Yeah, I don't love it. I don't enjoy that, no. I hope that I can win this war fairly quickly and then we can hopefully strike that down. It seems to be mostly the Italians. Busy spirits in Bordel. In several villages of Bordel there have been recent, and this is not the first time I think in Bordel, there have been recent reports of strange groups of ghosts at night, wearing somber clothing. They are accompanied by bustling winds and a chill in the air. Oddly though, witnesses claimed these ghosts were otherwise harmless and were preoccupied with engaging in mundane activities like chatting, enjoying food, singing, dancing, and playing various games. Almost like as if there was a separate town of ghosts at night. Locals believe that for whatever reason, these spirits of the dead are going to and fro and conducting various businesses. More rational and reputable scholars and priests, however, are skeptical about these claims and have not been able to verify them. They conclude this might just be either scattered instances of hallucinations or merely some kind of prank devised by some bored but clever and resourceful youths. See, this is one of those events. In itself, it doesn't do much, and I love these events, don't get me wrong here. But the way I see this, we're making a big decision here. Because we are declaring these ghosts are real. Remember when Prince Vea popped up, the servants believed it, some of our family believed it, but our character didn't. But Alva, he knows the supernatural is out there. He knows things are occurring that don't have a logical explanation. I am sure the ghosts are really there. Beware. We will definitely investigate that. Right. You know what? No. Keep investigating her. I don't trust that woman. That was related to Berenguela, of course. Now, we did make some money back here, but not enough, sadly. I just wish I knew where his troops were. Can we maybe find out by... Ah. Oh no, you're just in your own court, aren't you? Where can I find... They all appear to be in Santiago. Interesting. I really need to end this war, because this rebellion could become very dangerous. They're just slightly over. Maybe we can recover some manpower here, simply put. I could also, if I had the money, I could recruit more troops, but I don't have the money. Let's just hope that this basically dies off if we get a couple more troops here. Yeah, it's not a good time. It's not a good time indeed. You know what? In fact, I will take this ransom. This war is far more costly than we anticipated here, for sure. We are back in the positive, but, I mean, yeah, you know how it is. This has now been built fully up. This almost fully built up. Oh, and there goes the faction, I guess. All of a sudden, too weak. Well, that already was good enough. Let's keep sieging then. Alright, wait, what is this then? An empty prison cell. While inspecting my dungeon, I notice one jail cell that isn't occupied by any prisoners, even though all the other cells around it are currently housing criminals. I ask one of the guards why it is unused. Perhaps the person who was imprisoned there happened to be released or executed today? Actually, Prince Alva, we don't keep anyone in that jail cell, the guard tells me. Really? Why is that? They say that the ghost of a former criminal who was executed here inhabits this cell. If we were to put anyone in it, it would bring lots of misfortune to everyone here, including yourself, my lord. I understand it is reasonable to not want to provoke the spirits, or that is just superstition. Reserve this spot for the next criminal, that is an order. I don't think I will, actually. So, this implies that we, are doing this because we're afraid. I think it's more that we respect the spiritual. And that may stress us out. Honestly, I'm completely fine with the stress in itself. I will not put anybody in that cell. We are a very superstitious man. We could change religion here yet again to Nestorianism. I don't think that's happening. Right, you know what? You know how we do it, right? We go into the brothel. Ha! And this plot that has not done anything in ages has now finally progressed, it seems. Knowing how soldiers act around each other and noticing how freely information and rumor flows, I'm struck by an idea. If some of my own soldiers were to infiltrate Countess Berenguela's army, they might offer a different insight into her plans. Time for Berenguela to get some new recruits. Murder gains soldier souls for 5 years. Scheme power goes up, scheme success chance goes up, secrecy goes down. Gossip spreads very fast among soldiers. I could learn a lot as long as my agents stay out of trouble. I will definitely do this. Listen, we only want one thing. And that is for her to no longer exist. I will end it right here. And I gotta tell you, I am super curious, A, whether we actually get to deal with her. After all, she didn't even get imprisoned by our liege, and after all, we can't do anything except attempt to murder her. But I'm also so eager to find out who actually will inherit, because Alva leaves behind a very strong, a powerful, a meaningful Basconiaco. But he also leaves behind a very ghostly, spiritual, mythical Basconiaco almost. And how his children would actually perceive that is, of course, a highly individual thing. I'm not saying he will die anytime soon, but I am saying I think we have to look towards that angle soon. Let's see what else changed. We're educating the son of the Pope. Indeed, Englerland is doing quite well. How is this war proceeding? He's winning it. Good for you. A lot of internal wars now. You can see this here as well. King Godfrey got involved in the Bavarian War. Other than that, the Yusufids are definitely on their deathbed. We are looking at an insanely powerful Caliph Nasruddin, the Lord of Scrolls of the Abbasid Empire. Man, that is frightening, because that will be who we will face in a crusade against Jerusalem, and I don't think we have what it takes. I mean, look at this, man. That is just insane. Alright, well, we will see that, but not in this episode. For the moment, I will leave you here, and later, alligator.